Stone Paxton music and life with my echo. Life. Stone Paxton music and life. I'm remixing my own. Anyway, you guys, welcome. We'll let a few people come in. I know I'm like a minute early. So we're just gonna vibe. We're gonna let the music play until people get in. You really wanna know me? The girl, just take a chance. It's that grown and sexy body. Just hit the dance. Get your back up off the wall. People hit the floor. It's that grown and sexy body. Who can ask for more? Oh yeah. Get on that floor. Yeah, girl. Show me some more. Yeah. Get on the floor. Yeah, girl. Show me some more. Gonna make you feel alright. You're gonna make me dance tonight. I'm gonna make you feel the groove. Gonna make me feel the groove. I'm gonna make you feel alright. You're gonna make me dance tonight. I'm gonna make you feel the groove. Gonna make me feel the groove. Ladies and gentlemen, behind me is the legendary Rick James Stone City Band. Fellas, let me loosen my tie. Yeah, let me loosen it up. On the one time. If you really dig the feeling, what's up? You don't wanna miss tonight. How y'all doing today? Over here and no more on the phone. That's that feel good music. Old school party. This ain't no hit and miss. We got everything you want. So people raise your drink, say, oh yeah. Get on that floor. Gotta raise that frequency. Yeah, girl. Show me some more. Yeah. You can find this record online. Stone Paxton, feel the groove. Show me some more. Make you feel alright. You're gonna make me dance tonight. I'm gonna make you feel the groove. Gonna make you feel the groove. How y'all doing today? We'll wait for some more people to get in here and then we'll go off, y'all. I'm gonna make you feel the groove. Now dance. Hashtag Justice for Angie Stone, you guys. Hashtag Justice for Angie Stone. Let's keep it flying high. To the left. To the left. To the right. To the right. What's up, TC? What's up, Cambodia Mystique? Hold on, let's see who's in the house right now. We're going to do a roll call. Share the live. Gonna make you feel alright. You're gonna make me dance tonight. Dolores is always in the house, you guys. Dolores is literally always one of the first ones besides my mom to come in. Tessie, your CD has went out. So yeah, somehow it got mixed up in the packaging. I don't know. I guess they didn't send it out, but we're good to go. Thank you for hitting me up. Party's not over. Wait a minute. Not over. Wait a minute. Yes. Take it back. Welcome to the channel, you guys. Listen, let's share this live. This is an important live. And I know this is a conversation that nobody likes to have. Believe me, I know. It's not a conversation anyone wants to have. It's not even a conversation most people want to talk about in person. And I once I work out this thing with my StreamYard, I do plan to do another panel on this and bring people on so we can talk about it. Because there's some people that might come across this live who are actually dealing with this, who can share things with people that need to hear what I'm saying. Let's say hello to Damage Kisses. What's up, baby girl? How you doing? Tessie, what's up, young lady? Bridget's in the house. My usual ones are always here early, and I appreciate you guys. Share the live, you guys. This one's going to be a pretty deep one. And, it's a subject that I think that more people should talk about. Let's get the live up some more before we go in. So I'm going to play some more music until then. Let's play Happy People, okay? So we need to get some more people in there before we go. And I know that here we go with the weird times and YouTube not sending the notifications out. But let's play some more music and share the live. We get some more people in, then we'll start.
Hey, Stoney.
Okay. Oh, wow. I just, you know what's so weird? I just said hashtag for Justice for Angie Stone, right? And then I get a voice message. I kid you not. That was a mistake. Did y'all hear that voice message? Did y'all hear that? A little bit of that? That was a message that Angie left for me. It was strictly by mistake. I'm trying to play music and that actually plays. Did you guys just hear that? Let me play that, man. That's crazy.
Hey, Stoney, it's Angie. I need you to call me ASAP. Thank you. Bye-bye.
That's weird that that message played after I said Justice for Angie Stone. Then that message pops up. Both of them popped up back to back.
Hey, Stone, it's Angie. Call me. I got something to tell you real important. Thanks.
Was that not weird, you guys? I'm being honest. Was that like literally? I said hashtag Justice for Angie Stone. I'm playing music, and you guys know I've been playing music every time I get on my live, and that message has never popped up. And that message popped up. That was one of her last messages that she left me, and I had missed her phone call, so that was a message that was still in my inbox. So that was just really, really, that was crazy, you guys. Let's play some more music. Let's get some more people in here, and then we'll. That was just. That one kind of threw me off, you guys. Damn. Wow. Happy people. Share the live, y'all, and then we'll go in. Yeah. Yeah. Happy people. Happy people. Happy people. Happy people. Let them feel. Let them feel. I can't believe this world around me. It's not the same. People are angry. That's facts. One chance to make. Hold on. Okay. So hold on. I got to get to this subject, y'all, because I'm going over some notes right now, and it's just got me tripping out, man. Hold on. Okay, let's get this started, you guys. Okay. Stone Paxton MPCLive. I'm back again, and I haven't done a subject on this. I haven't done a topic on this, but we're going to talk about it because this is something that affects every community in the world. And as you read my title, you see what it says. It says HIV, the Forbidden Conversation. And you probably ask me, Stone, why are you calling this the Forbidden Conversation? You guys know why I'm calling it that. That being hi, long time no see. You guys know exactly why I am calling this the Forbidden Conversation. You know why. Every time I noticed in my past when I posted online about STDs in the Las Vegas community or something like that, I used to get like maybe one like. I kid you not. This is no joke. Maybe one like. One like. And I always say, damn, I'll post a picture of a lady or I'll post a picture of my music or a picture of me. I get all these likes. But as soon as I talk about something that affects the community around the world, not just black, white, it's purple, yellow, orange, it affects everyone. Nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to have a conversation. So that means there's a lot of people that are around here in silence about something that we need to be talking about. That's what it leads me to believe, you guys. What I think is dangerous is the fact that you can sit around knowing that there's an issue with not just AIDS, but STDs around the world. This is not anything that's not known because most people hear about this subject and they kind of shy off from it. They get quiet. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to say anything about it. They just get quiet. Now, let me ask you a question. Do you think that it's fair to yourself to have so much information or to even if you don't know the information to be exact, but do you think it's fair to yourself to hear these things? Because you might come across a video that's talking on this subject, and then you don't want to have a conversation about it. Every time there's a situation where we could talk about this, people want to get quiet. And it kind of, not kind of, it bothers me immensely because this is how shit keeps happening. This is how it keeps happening, you guys. I want to make sure I have my computer plugged in because what I don't want to happen is as I'm in the middle of free flight talking, the computer shuts down. Why is it that we don't want to share this information? Why is it that we don't want to have an adult conversation about HIV, AIDS, STDs, but it can affect every last one of us that are watching this and that are coming across this? There's people with AIDS and HIV right now who are living in their truth. They're not ashamed to talk about it. I've seen some very, very beautiful women. It's rare that I see men that have it that really talk about it, but I've seen some very beautiful women talking about having HIV and how they got it. And although we walk around and we can look normal and we might see this beautiful woman and she's bad, or this handsome man that women like, and they're like, oh my God, girl, girl, if I could, does he have a woman, girl? Ooh, we. And it could be a walking TikTok time picow. Because sometimes the look might look good, but the insides, it's like cooking chicken and it look crispy on the outside, but on the inside is raw as shit. Now, how many of you guys would eat raw chicken? That's what we're dealing with, you guys. I'm going to bring the facts to you. We're going to break down the numbers and all that shit. But I have to get into your cerebral cortex because this is a problem, and specifically in the African American and Hispanic community. The numbers are very, very high. Meanwhile, at the ranch, everybody's kicking it, partying, having a good old shindiggy time. Unstrapped up, raw dogging and doing whatever they feel like they want to do. Just having a good old fashioned shindiggity time. Not thinking of the consequences. Not thinking of passing this on to someone else that they might really, really love. Men, women, men that are out doing things, maybe their significant other doesn't know about it, and they're coming home and they're giving this possibilities of giving this to their significant other. Women that are out doing things that might have a man that's working hard and, you know, it comes home from work or comes off the road as a truck driver or a pilot or military. He has no idea. He's happy to see his wife. He's excited. He's ready to be intimate with his wife. And kapow, he finds out down the road that now he is faced with more than just going off to serve his country. Now he has to figure out how to serve himself. And now this woman has to figure out how to serve herself because somebody could not be honest enough to say, hey, before I met you, I had this shit. Or, hey, I'm out in the streets doing a lot of wild shit. I just want to let you know I'm a wild dude. I just want to let you know I'm a wild ass woman. But nobody's going to say that because everybody likes really truthfully hiding the shit that they do. It seems to be fun. It seems to be fun. I am truthfully going to get some people on my panel to speak that have AIDS and HIV. I'm going to research. I'm going to reach out. There's a few young ladies I saw online, excuse me. I'm going to see if I can get them to come on and talk and tell their truth. Because I think the only way people are going to get this is to see a beautiful woman or a handsome man sit on my panel and tell their story. How they was just floating through life like, shit, that shit can't touch me. I'm good. You see, this is what YouTube should be used for. Passing the proper information to people in the communities that need it, that don't pick up a book, that will not read, because some people would prefer watching a video or TV to get their information. Now, the things that I'm going to share with you are not allegedly. These are the numbers. I'm going to share with you the top 10 cities that HIV has just went wild as fuck. And why? I sit back now, honestly. I remember coming to Vegas in the late 80s, early 90s. And I remember there's a lot of wild shit going on in Vegas. You know what I'm saying? And as a young guy, young guys do wild shit. Young women do wild shit, right? Yes, that's part of the growing up, right? You agree. But in my mind, I always heard my aunt and my mom talking to me about putting myself out there. And every time I interact and put myself out with a new person, I'm increasing my opportunities of whatever. It's like, might as well take your money to the casino and just throw it on the table. You understand what I'm saying? That is what we're dealing with. This is what you're dealing with when you talk about HIV and AIDS. Now, let's get into some numbers, you guys, because you know I'm not going to be on here just making up anything and giving you a bunch of bullshit. I'm only here to pass the information on, the proper information on, not the false information, not just capping and all that stuff, because I do care about what happens to people because I'm human. So I have to care about the next human in order to continue to be a human, right? Approximately 1.2 million people in the US have HIV. About 13% of them, now we're going to get deep into the community elements of it. About 13% of them don't know it and need testing. So these numbers are not 100% exact. They're based on the people that actually came in for the testing. So if 1.2 million people went and got tested, what about the motherfuckers that didn't? That's the shit I think about. What about the ones that have not even went to get tested? What about that? Because people are scared. People hate going to doctors, especially if they think they got some shit. Yeah. I used to have a friend. He used to call me, and he used to, with two of my friends, they used to call me. I used to tell them, you can't come to my house and use my motherfucking bathroom. I really used to say that to them. They would, I guess they needed somebody to talk to. So they would share things to me about their STDs. And I said, bro, that shit, you need to go to the doctor, bro. And you know what? No offense, but yeah, you can't come to my house and use my bathroom no more. And I was serious about that. I didn't bite my tongue because I don't know where the fuck you been. And then you're sharing this information with me. That shit's kind of scary. But I'm glad that they needed somebody to talk to and they shared it with me and I gave them my advice. It says HIV continues to have a disproportionate impact on certain populations, particularly racial and ethnic minorities, and gay, bisexual, and other men who have sex with men, MSM. And in 2022, an estimated of 31,800 people acquired HIV in the USA. Now, I could be sharing some of this information that some of you already know, and maybe some of you don't. That's what we're here to do. It's estimated that new HIV infections decreased by 12% from 38,300 in 2018 to 31,800 in 2022. Interesting. In 2022, 37,981 people aged. Now, listen to this. This is what blew my mind. 37,981 people aged 13 and older received an HIV diagnosis in the USA and 6 territories freely associated states. HIV diagnoses are not evenly distributed across states and regions. The highest rates of new diagnosis continue to happen in the South. When it said the diagnosis in the US, then it said from age 13 and older, that shit blew my mind. What is a 13-year-old doing having SEX? That's my thoughts. Like in my mind, like if I had a young one that was a young lady, I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing? The fuck are you doing? You what? You what? No, hell no, you not. Because how does that happen? And I know there's variables as to how that can happen, but that fucked me up reading that. Truly, truly messed me up, right? Freaked me out. It freaked me out. Even reading it again freaked me out. Okay. It says new HIV infections. HIV incidence refers to the estimated number of new HIV infections during a specified period, such as a year, which is different from the number of people diagnosed with HIV during a given year. Some people may have HIV for some time, but not know it. So the year they are diagnosed may not be the same as the year they have acquired HIV because they could have had HIV and just never went and got tested. In other words, is what they're saying, right? Please, anybody watching this video, don't just pass it by. This is important. This is for all of us. Don't just flick through my channel and see me talking. Listen to what I have to say, because trust and believe me, this affects everyone, all of us. According to the latest estimates from the Centers of the Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, approximately, again, 31,800 people acquired HIV in the United States in 2022. The annual infections in the U.S. have been reduced by more than 2/3 since the height of the epidemic in the mid-'80s. You know, that's when the whole thing started blowing up. The CDC estimates that annual HIV infections in the United States shows hopeful signs of progress in recent years. Now, we all like having our fun, you guys, right? We're adults. Everybody likes getting down, having fun, doing their thing. Single men, single women. Men, you know, husbands and wives might have their little alternative shit they do. But these days, y'all, man, you kind of really got to be careful with this shit. Whatever you got going on, whatever your stilo is, and whatever you get down with. If you love your life and you love your health, you will take what I'm saying very serious. And remember this, because there's nothing like, I remember I met this, I think I told you the story about the man that I met when I was talking about relationships, and he had AIDS, and he told me he had AIDS. He was telling me his story about life and, you know, and how he messed up and he never had kids because he was a player. That man had AIDS. But I wasn't scared of him. I sat and I talked to him on the steps of his apartment building. I would see him maybe every other day, and I would sit there and I'd pick his brain about life. And he told me all these stories about Vegas, but he told me how he was a player. And he told me all the women that he had. He told me all the stuff he did. And he said if he could redo it, he would do it differently. Well, he was dying. And of course, that's what everybody says when they're on their deathbed. Everybody becomes a saint. Everybody believes in God at that time. Everybody becomes a Muslim. You know what I'm saying? People change up when they face with death. Why not? Why wait for that to happen to deal with it? Just deal with it before anything like that happens, so you don't have to feel like you have to convert to being a perfect person from that point on, when you should be living by the respect of your body right now, not putting yourself in harm's way. I am glad that when I came to Vegas, I wasn't dating. My relationships have been long relationships, everyone I've had, right? I'm glad that I wasn't out in the streets like my older brothers are. One of my brothers had like 30 kids. I ain't joking. One of my brothers, his thing was, I'm going to spread my seed. That's what my older brother used to say. And I'd be like, huh? And he wasn't joking. Literally, I think my oldest brother, I think 30 kids. Just my older brother alone. You remember, I got 6 brothers. My older brother, 30 kids. I kid you not. Just one brother. Not to count how many other nieces and nephews and great nieces and nephews I have. But my brother was out there. He was doing his thing. And I'm sure he not once thought, none of my brothers thought about the shit I'm saying right now. I'm sure they didn't, because they was out there slinging their thing. And that's something that scares me. Now, I've been in Vegas all this time, and I've never once allowed myself to be out there like that, because I've always been scared. I've always thought the repercussions of something like that. So I didn't put myself out there just sleeping around. I always say there's not any women that can pop up and say, oh, I slept with Stone Paxton. Oh, yeah, girl, I slept with him. Just like men like to do. Women like to do that too. Men do that. They'll talk about their stories about the women, how many women they done had. I don't. All my relationships have been solid and long relationships. But women do that, right? Just like men do. Y'all know y'all little circles. But I can't no women in Vegas say, oh, I done been with Stone Paxton. Oh, I'm confident with that. They can't say it. No. Come up in my chat. Ain't no women that slept with me, because I wasn't that kind of guy. So I'm confident to get on here and say that. Yeah, I kept my situation very limited with women. And I was very careful, and I've always been careful and very particular. It didn't matter how good. I used to get scared, like the prettier the woman is, and if it came too easy, like she wanted to hook up, I was like, oh shit, she might have some shit. I know that's crazy thinking, right? But that's really the way I used to think. Like, oh no, she might. Yeah, you beautiful. Yeah, thank you, baby girl. Well, what you doing tonight? Oh, yeah, I got to go back in the studio. I'm sleepy. I make all kinds of excuses up. I've even been, this is no joke. Man, I'm going to tell a story, and this is probably one of the most embarrassing stories. And I don't even know how to say it, but I'm going to say it. I had a single period, right? Where I was a single man. And I remember this beautiful girl. She was beautiful. And we doing grown man, grown woman stuff. And all this has a story to it because we talk about HIV, but I'm showing you how you can get caught up, right? This woman was drop dead gorgeous. And I remember going out on a date and we doing the adult thing. And now the adult thing is leading to some other adult shit, right? And I remember we weren't at my place. I think it was a hotel room. And I remember, and this is no joke. And I'm not trying to make nobody gross nobody out. I'm having an adult conversation with you guys. This woman, of course, I'm not going to mention her name, but if she sees me telling this story, she'll know I'm talking about her. So I'm not going to mention her name. But she went to go to the bathroom, and I'll never forget this. And I don't know. I wasn't planning on doing anything because that's just me, right? There's been a lot of times I put myself in positions, but I don't do anything. 99% of the time I don't, unless I'm in a relationship with them, right? So I remember she went, she went to the bathroom, ladies. Listen, she went to the bathroom. She came back, she sat down on the bed, and I'm doing this. And I'm sorry for what I'm about to say, but it's the truth. I started doing this. She sat next to me. I was like, in my mind, right? But I was doing it with my facial expressions, didn't realize I was doing it. I was doing this. The hell? And I'm saying that to myself. And she said, what did you say? I said, oh, nothing. I say, I smell something. She sit next to me. Listen to me. She had her clothes on. She had on some thick jeans. These jeans so thick, nothing should have been able to come through that. But the smell that was coming through her clothes was so sickening to me that I was just scared. Like, what do I do? Like, how do I get out of this situation? Because I ain't trying to have no sex with this woman. What I'm telling myself. So she's like, what's wrong? So I didn't know if it was gonna lead that way, but it looked like it was. And I didn't want to allow it to go there. So I said, oh man, my stomach hurt. I said, I got the diarrhea, right? I had to say something to turn the whole situation the opposite way. And I went to the bathroom. I tried to make myself fart. I tried to do whatever I could to turn this woman off, right? Making sounds with my mouth in the bathroom, all that. And I opened the door and I said, oh, man, I got to go home. I got to use my bathroom. I can't use no other bathroom. I lied to get out the situation. Went home. I texted her. She was like, where are you? Are you coming back? I said, no, I'm not coming back. She says, why? I said, oh, man, I said, I don't know how to say this, but I don't usually mess with people until I get to know them, but something is wrong with you. And she's like, what do you mean something's wrong with me? I said, yeah. I said, you probably want to go get checked out because a woman shouldn't smell that way. And I said, man, you're so beautiful, but goodness, something has died inside of you. And I said that to her, and I try to say it in, I actually was a little bit more respectful. I said, something's biologically wrong with your body chemistry. That's actually what I said. I said, your body chemistry is thrown off. Something has happened. There's a bacteria in your body, and it's thrown off. Although my mind was telling me to just say some other shit, I actually was nice, and I said it that way. I said, there's something going wrong with your pH in your body. And she said, ain't nothing wrong with me. I say, listen, I say, ma'am, I say, I could smell you. You didn't even take your clothes off, and I could smell you. I said, yeah. I said, something's not right. Now, at that time, I didn't know that this girl had a lot of men. This is what I'm trying to show you, men and women. I didn't know that this girl had a lot of men that she had already been flavorable with. She had already had all these relationships with different men, right? So I tell the story to a lady friend of mine who knew who she was. And she's like, oh, you went out today? I said, yeah. She's like, well, so how'd everything go? I said, it didn't go. She said, what happened? I said, man, Listen, I said, I don't know if she's planning on us having sex, but before she could get anything off or even think about it, I could smell her inside her clothes. I could smell the smell from the inside of her clothes. And I said something was wrong with her. And I told her, and she got mad at me. She said, "Oh shit." She said, "Well, honestly, like I couldn't believe you was even gonna talk to her. I mean, I know she's beautiful and stuff, but I know her history." And I was like, "Well, what's her history?" And when she told me the shit she told me, I was actually upset because I said, "How come you didn't tell me this before I even sit down and even wasted that woman's time and my time?" She said, "Well, doesn't matter. You didn't date her." And I said, "No." I said, "But what if I was the kind of guy that was on one? Like, yeah, the night's going good. I'm rolling with it." She said, "Well, I would have hoped that you would have used protection anyway." I said, "No, but that's not the point. You either need to talk to her or you need to let men know that she's going to talk to that it ain't good." Long story short, this person was mad at me for probably a year. And then one day, and I'm going to tell you another story of something that it was a very close call for me too. She was mad at me for a year and she called me out of the blue. And she actually thanked me for having that conversation with her. She said most men would have never even told a woman that because they were too busy trying to hook up with a woman. But she said, "Thank you for being honest. And I'm sorry that I didn't take it well, and I went to the doctor and I got myself checked and, yeah, you were right. Things weren't really, bacteria wise in my body wasn't." I said, "Hey, I was just, I wasn't trying to hurt your feelings. I just know a woman shouldn't smell that way. I just know I've been with very clean women, so I know. So I'm glad that you can call me and I accept your apology. Let's fast forward to the future. I met this young lady, really nice, and I'm not going to say her name, right? Very nice, very nice. And beautiful, beautiful sister. You hear what I'm saying? And she used to come into my store. I used to own some cell phone stores. She used to come into my store, really just beautiful lady. I'm gonna be honest. Probably just the most beautiful chocolate black lady I've seen, besides my ex-wife. Very, very beautiful. Beautiful skin tone, just beautiful, right? Eyes, everything. And so, you know what? I was like, man, that's a beautiful sister. I was like, damn, you come in, we'd have great conversations. She stopped in my store, we would talk. Sometimes I would go outside, talk to her, just we'd had great conversations. And I would randomly see her in different places. If I was with my girlfriend at the time, I would see her at, some different places. We would see each other and I'd be with who I was with. And she'd be by herself sometimes, like sometimes if we went to the park, I would be at the park and I would see her at the park by herself, just walking through the park while I'm with, my, I think I was with my wife at that time or whoever I was dating at that time, my ex-wife, whoever I was married to, because I didn't do a lot of dating. I've been mostly married in all my relationships. So um, I'm talking to her and we're sharing stuff. And then I look up and she's like, I see her at the store with this guy. Now I knew she liked me, and we never had no conversations about if she liked me, if she was gonna date me. We never had that. But I knew she liked me, right? So I see her at the store with this guy, right? And I see her and I'm like, I said, damn, so I text her like I said, who is that dude? Right? I'm just texting. She said, oh, that's my friend. And then she said it was her friend at first, but they end up getting married. Long story short, the guy was gay, and I knew he was gay, and there's nothing wrong. Shit, if you're gay, you're gay. And ain't nobody tripping off of that. But I'm peeping her out, right? So I'm just kind of like, okay, I didn't know that was you told me that was your friend, but she ended up marrying this guy. Long story short, I get a call. I think they were together they end up having a baby, and maybe a year later, I end up getting a random call, and it was her, and she called me to tell me she wanted to talk to me. And she talked to me. She came to my store. I went out to the car, sat in the car with her, and she told me that that her husband had AIDS. And when she told me that, she was crying at first, and I didn't know what she was crying about. I was like, everything cool? And when she told me that her husband had AIDS, I my heart dropped to my ankle for her. And I said, are you cool? She said, well, I've been tested. And I said, well, how did you find out? She said, well, when I was pregnant, I was having his baby, blah, blah, blah. They ran the test, and that's how we found out. I said, well, how's the baby? The baby's cool. She said, well, so far I'm cool, but still and she was crying. And I said, damn. I said, well, let me ask you a question. Did you know he was gay? I said, because I knew when I saw him with you at the store. I mean, you didn't know that. I'm just saying, like, you could choose who you want to choose, but if you're going to get into something, did you know you were getting into that? Because you can't blame the guy if she jumped into the situation with the guy. Obviously, she had to know. I think some women know certain men are gay and they still mess with them, right? Like she had to know he was gay, but she went ahead and married the guy. It's not like he's going to change what he's doing for her. He's already been doing it. But let me tell you what I thought about. I could have hooked up with this girl 100 times over. There was a friendship there, and she liked me. And I never did. I never took advantage of the fact that I knew that she was vibing with me, right? But that shit scared the shit out of me. That shit scared the shit out of me. That was a second situation that I knew about somebody with AIDS that was around me that I could have possibly got caught up if I'd have been the kind of guy who's a lusting over everything they see, lusting over every woman they see they got to fucking sleep with. If I was a luster, I would have been in a fucked up position right now. Very freaked up right now. There was another situation that happened in my life. I had a recording studio here in Vegas on Charleston and Eastern for years. There was a young lady that used to come in there. There was a friend of mine who's passed away. Rest in peace to him. But he had a TV show here in Vegas. He used to have a lot of girls, and he owned an escort company. So he always had women around him. And the young lady came to my recording studio one time, and, with a whole bunch of dudes. And one night she needed a ride home. And I asked one of the young gentlemen, I said, can you make sure that lady gets home? But before she got home, they detoured somewhere else. I found out later because I got a text like, yeah, man, we took old girl, man. She was about the business. She came on my boy house, my cousin, and all of us hooked up. This is the same girl. And I was like, oh, man, I said, bro, why'd y'all do that? Y'all should have just took the young lady home like, oh, no, she wanted to go hang. I said, okay. Now, that young lady, probably 3 years later, I get a call at my recording studio. And she was like, she called and she said, is this Stone? I said, yeah, who's this? She said, this is Red. I said, hey, Red, what's up? She said, can I talk to you? I said, absolutely. How you been doing? I said, man, where you been? She said, I moved. I went down south somewhere. I said, oh. She said, yeah, I just wanted to call you and see if you can do me a favor. I said, sure. What do you need me to do? She said, I need you to contact this person, that person, that person, that person. I said, okay. I said, for what? She said, and let them know that I have AIDS and I got it from them. I said, what the French? What? She said, yeah. I said, you're fucking kidding me. I said, well, how did you find out? I'm a question. I love asking questions. Now I'm a forensic investigator when it comes to shit like this. So I'm asking questions like, so when did you find out? And like, how did you know? And like, what, how did you feel? I'm asking all these questions. I'm curious. I want to know how she found out about the shit. She said, well, I had a baby and they did a blood test. And then boom. And the only time I was really sleeping with a whole bunch of guys is when I was in Las Vegas. And I don't have their number, and those guys. Can you tell them? Man, I remember the day that I had to call these dudes and tell them, but I ended up running to two of them at the mall, and I pulled them to the side. And I said, hey, man, I need to talk to the both of you guys. And they said, what's up? I said, remember the girl Red? Remember the one used to be around y'all? Y'all had the girls, the TV girls, because they had a TV show, and they had little TV dancer girls. He said, yeah. They both said, yeah. I said, well, she told me to tell you guys that she has AIDS. So right when I said the word AIDS, they just took off running through the mall. I said, hey, man, I'm just, hey, I don't want to hear none of that shit. I ain't got nothing to do with me. I said, wow. I said, bro, I can't believe you guys don't want to listen. I'm just passing the message on because she wanted me to tell you. And she wants you guys to call her because she has to, you got to get tested, right? Oh, man, they didn't want to talk to me. Scorpio, thank you, sweetie. Scorpio say, Mr. Paxton, I see you. So Mpxone, aka Cambo the Mystique, good day. Chat, listening while finishing work. The Scorpio, thank you. You guys, this is one of my biggest channel supporters, Scorpio. She always keeps this channel afloat, showing love. Thank you, Scorpio. This definitely allows me to continue to take my time and give people the quality content. And I appreciate you for always holding this channel down. Thank you so much, Scorpio. So I'm trying to tell these grown men, I said, man, they took off and they left. They didn't even want to talk to me. So I called one of the guys' phone and I said, hey man, listen, bro. I said, listen, I've known you a long time. I said, she lying. She lied. I said, you're not even hearing me talk. You're not even letting me talk. I said, this girl would not waste her time to call me from Missouri or wherever to tell me this. She actually cares about you guys because she wants you guys to go get checked. Well, she didn't get, I must, if I do have it, I got it from her. And I said, well, wait a minute. I didn't say you had shit. I'm just telling you what she told me to tell you. See, I think God was really dealing with me in a way of throwing this stuff around me to show me like, Stone, you in the entertainment industry now. Be careful. Because he was constantly putting me in situations to remind me of what not to do. And it scared the shit out of me. And I've always been a scary cat when it comes to approaching women. I've always been a scary guy anyway, even to this day. If I see you and you're beautiful, I'm not coming up to you. I ain't saying shit to you. We would literally have to be mid-flight of a conversation or standing in line to where we're forced to talk. But other than that, I'm not going to come to you and get your number. I've always been a scary guy. I thank God for my scariness, because had not, maybe I would have made a mistake and done something wrong and been caught up like those young men. Scorpio just gave 10 Stone Packs and Music and Life memberships. You guys, please thank Scorpio for this, because this is something Scorpio does. She comes in here and she shares with people. She shares with them my channel by way of memberships to tell people, here you go, I'm going to give you a membership so that you can enjoy Stone's content. So please, you guys, give her a thank you, because she really, really comes in here and she shows so much love, man. And I appreciate Scorpio at the bottom of my heart, because nobody does anything like that. This is rare. I don't see this. I've watched other channels. I don't see this. So please thank Scorpio for your memberships, you guys. So these gentlemen, I called. They did not want to talk to me. I couldn't even have, now look, listen to this. I couldn't even have a man-to-man conversation with these gentlemen because they did not want to talk to me about the whole HIV thing. They didn't want to, they were blaming it on her. They didn't even get to hear the whole story. So I couldn't even help them. I don't know where one of the guys passed away, and he didn't pass away from AIDS, but I did find out when he passed away that he did. Somebody told me that he did have AIDS. I don't know how true that was or not. And the other ones, I don't know. I haven't seen them through the years, but these are the things as men and being in this entertainment business that we're around this access to women all day long. Women that are in the entertainment industry have access to men all day long. Men in the entertainment industry have access to women all day long. But it can be a scary place. Now, I get a lot of celebrity women that want to date me. I don't date just anybody. I don't care if they're a celebrity or not, but I get it. A lot of celebrity entertainers, I'm not going to mention names, and I've dated some. I'm not even going to mention who I've dated. But I'm not the kind of guy who just loosely, because I know that I can do it. You know, when I was single, I could have a woman every day in my house. When I wasn't married, I could have had a woman. There used to be a time, and don't misunderstand what I'm about to say. There used to be a time where I used to have 3 or 4 women at my house talking to each other in the living room and cooking dinner, cooking food, having a good old time. Had nothing to do with sex. Stone wasn't sex to none of them, but they loved my company. They would come over. They would literally cook. One would come over, cook breakfast. Another one would be leaving. Other one's coming to cook lunch. One would be leaving. Another one's cooking dinner. This is the truth, the truth. And I never slept with any of those women. If they're watching, they'll tell you, oh yeah, Stone he never even tried. I got a lot of lady friends, and I've never had to sleep with them or tried. A lot of lady industry friends in the music industry, I've never pushed up on them or tried. They'll tell you that. I mean, what's the point at the end of the day? God gave a man a tool to 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 produce offsprings for the sake of bringing in more spiritual kings and queens into this world, and he gave women the same thing to be able to produce an offspring. Um, Even if you look at animals, they have a design to sex, and when they have sex, they're not doing it every day. Have you noticed that when it's mating time, animals go do what they're supposed to do? Now, humans are the only ones that take the mating thing outside of the category of mating. They just do the shit all the time. And there's nothing wrong with it. I don't want to seem like a super square. All I'm saying is this HIV thing is it's not good. Let's get back into the statistics, okay? Oh my God, it's crazy, man. It says, let me see. The decline was driven by 30% decrease among young people aged 13 to 24, increase in pre-exposure, prophylaxis, PrEP prescriptions, viral suppressions, and HIV testing. Likely contributed to the decline, additionally, in the jurisdictions prioritizing the ending of HIV epidemic in the U.S. Initiative HIV incidents decreased by 21% amongst people aged 13 again years in 2022 compared to 2017. I'm blown away with this whole 13 shit. That number. Um, so let's go deeper. In the USA, there was 38,000 estimated new HIV estimated in the USA. The rate was 11.3 per 100,000 people. So the rate was 11.3 per 100,000 people or persons. MSM accounted 67%, 21,400 of the 31,800 estimated new HIV cases. Okay. People who acquired HIV through heterosexual contact accounted for 22%. 7,000 of the 31,800 estimated new HIV infections in the USA. Men reporting heterosexual contact accounted for 6%, 2,100 of the estimated new HIV infections, while women reporting heterosexual contact accounted for 15%, 4,900 of the estimated new HIV infections in the USA as compared to 2018. The annual number of HIV infections amongst people who are acquired HIV through heterosexual contact decreased 11%. Of course, we can talk about people who are injecting drugs. People who are injecting the drugs accounted for about 7%, which is 2,300 of the 31,800 estimated new HIV infections in 2022. Men who injected drugs accounted for 4%, which is 1,300 of the estimated new HIV infections, while women who injected drugs accounted for 3%, which is 1,000 of the estimated new HIV infections amongst people who injected drugs. No changes were detected in the estimated annual number of the HIV infections in 2022 compared to 2028. Now let's go into by age group. The largest number of new HIV infections, 12,700, among the people aged 25 to 34. People aged 13 to 24 accounted for 20%. This number 13 just keeps freaking me out. The age 13 accounted for 20%, which is 6,400 of the estimated 31,800 of new infections in 2022. Of course, they're comparing that to the 2018 number, the annual number, right? So let's go by race and ethnicity. According to the CDC, in 2022, now the number's even higher now, but they haven't quite given the number for 2025. I guess they give it after the year end. That's how they do, right? Because they do the census for the whole year. Black African Americans persons made up approximately 12% of the population of the United States, but accounted for 37% of the 11,900 of the estimated 31,800 new HIV infections. White persons made up to 61% of the population of the United States, but accounted for 24%, which is 7,600 of new HIV infections. Hispanics and Latino persons made up 18% of the population of the United States, but accounted for, but accounted for 33%. They're up there with black folks of the 10,500 HIV infections. Together, Black, African Americans, and Hispanics, Latino people made up more than 70% of the estimated new HIV infections. Now, that's not saying any other race has not been affected, because remember, they say white folks is around 24%. But it's just that Africans and Hispanics have a very high number because, of course, we know African Americans and Hispanic men don't like using protection. Now, that's nothing new. Everybody on this live that are men and women know that shit. Black men don't like using protection. Hispanic men don't like, it's obvious. We know that in Hispanic community, the numbers are very high when it comes to new births. So I don't know what the fuck's happening in the black community. I don't know where the children are going. Maybe the abortion level went up, rate has went up because we ain't producing a lot of kids. So that means somebody's getting rid of them, right? So here we go. HIV transmission category. Okay, hold on. So let's go back. Let's go back to this. By sex at birth. In 2022, people assigned male at birth accounted for 61. People assigned as male at birth was counted as 81% of the 25,900 of the estimated 31,800 new HIV infections. While people assigned as female at birth accounted for 19%, 5,900 of new HIV infections in 2022 as compared to 2016. Now, what does that mean? They're saying, children that are being born with AIDS. So this is what they're talking about. An annual number of HIV infections amongst people assigned male at birth decreased by 12%, but remained stable among people assigned female at birth in 2022. The rate of people assigned male at birth, 18.6, was 4 times the rate for people assigned female at birth, 4.1. That's deep. That's very deep. In 2022, 67% of all new HIV infections were attributed to male sexual contact. So they're saying 67% of the new infections were men on men contact. The annual number of HIV infections attributed to male sex in 2022 compared to 2018 decreased by 10%. Okay. Those attributed to male sexual contact and injection with drugs decreased to 27%. All the transmissions and category injections, drug use, and heterosexual contact remain stable. According to the CDC, in 2022, amongst males, most HIV infections were attributed to males. That was attributed to male sex contact at 83%. Among females, most HIV infections were attributed to heterosexual contact at 83%. Damn. Check this out. In the South, down South, it says the South accounted for approximately 49% of the 31,800 estimated new HIV infections. The annual number of infections in the South in 2022. Now, you know that number is up. We're going to do another video, and we're going to talk about the current numbers because I don't know if those numbers, like I said, are still getting. I was looking up numbers for 2024 and 2025, and it kept going back to 22 and 2018, comparing it to that. So let's do this. Let me tell you the cities from 1 to 10 that are highest rated cities as far as AIDS. We're going to start from 10. Okay. And we'll end with number 1. Number 10, Columbia, South Carolina. And I want you to notice what all these cities, and put in your mind by the end of this, what all these cities have in common with each other. Columbia, South Carolina has a high rate of HIV. And those are the ones that have went to get reported. Those are the ones that have went to the doctor, said, I'm going to get a test. I want to know what the fuck is going on with my body. Why am I seeing lesions? Why do I see marks all over my face? Why am I feeling weak? Why am I tired? Why have I been losing weight? Why have I had diarrhea every single day? Those are the people that actually went to get a test. This shit is important, you guys. Don't act like this conversation I'm saying is something bad, and don't act like this shit does not exist, because it affects all of us. And I will say it again. It affects all of us. It's just that some people care enough to talk about the shit. And usually the people that I'm so worried about and don't want to talk about it and don't want to hit like on the video and, want to hide behind that. We can't see you through the goddamn computer. It's okay. Relax. It's okay. You can watch this. Just take the information and utilize it as a tool. Don't be scared. I don't know why people are hiding, why nobody wants to discuss this, why nobody wants to share this information. But when the shit happens to you, and if it happens to you, because I don't want it to happen to nobody, but if you're out there doing this shit, you have increased your chances of it happening. You will come back and watch videos like this, because you'll say, damn, that dude Stone was spitting some shit. I should have just took the time to watch the video, man. Damn. I went and hooked up with that shorty, or I should have took the time to watch his video. I really didn't even like that guy. Just, he had a nice car. He was being really nice to me. And, nobody else is not. Like, you got to take the information in the way it comes. Don't take that shit personal. God sends people to be the voice where other people can't be a voice. He sends people to speak when other people can't speak. HIV is some serious shit. There's people in the hospital right now looking out of their window. Ask the nurse, can you please open that window? They want to see another day of the sunlight. They want to be able to wake up and hope they can see that sun again. There's people in the hospital right now praying to God that they wish they hadn't fucked up and went and just laid down with somebody. Every single day, as we're speaking, somebody's praying, God, please, I don't want to die from AIDS. Please, God, if I could do it again, I promise you, I'm not going to sleep around. Just please give me another chance. You guys, it don't have to be like that. It doesn't have to end up to where we're pleading for God to please give me another chance, when all you have to do is listen to what he said anyway. Because all of our parents tell us that shit anyway. It's not like it's nothing new. And what I'm saying, you done heard 100 million times. I'm just utilizing my platform to share the truth. And I'm not afraid to share the information, because people don't want to talk about this. And I don't even know why. But what I have learned is typically the people don't want to talk about it. The motherfuckers is out there doing all this shit. Don't be mad at me. I'm with you, though. I'm trying to help you understand this so you don't keep doing this shit. Usually the people that don't want to talk about it or hear about it, they worry that they got some shit and they don't want to hear about it. They ain't trying to hear nobody tell them no shit. I already got shit. I don't need nobody telling me what the fuck to do. Shit, fuck that motherfucker online. But why? All I'm trying to do is share the information, and it's scary. Think about this, men and women. How can we think about having a relationship when we got to worry about every single man or woman? Margot, thank you for the $9.99. Thank you so much for the contribution to the station. Margot is to the channel. Margot is also another contributor who contributes to the channel, and we appreciate everybody. Now, I got to give respect, though. Cleo, not Cleo. Why in the hell I say Cleo? Now, for those understand, I don't know why I mentioned a Cleo. I meant Scorpio. Let's scratch that one out. Let's go backwards. Scorpio. I got to give Scorpio her respect. Scorpio is the biggest contributor of this channel, so I got to give her love. Ain't nobody going to beat out Scorpio. I'm sorry. Lo siento, señorita, amigo. So let's get back to it. I don't know why in the hell I mentioned that name I mentioned. Anyway, God bless her. But I am only sharing the information, but this is what's scary. Let's say you're single, I'm single, all of us are single. Now we want to venture off into trying to have a relationship. So we start going into the dating pool. Like, let's do online dating. Let's meet people online. Let's try to meet a nice man at church, a nice woman at church, right? My future wife is at church. My future husband, the pastor say, well, come to church and meet your husband. Your husband right up in the church, and you ain't got to go out in the club. So you go into church. My friend that her husband got AIDS, he was in the church. He was in the church. You hear what I'm saying? He was in the church. Yes, he was. Yes, indeed, y'all. He was in the church, y'all. So that don't matter. What am I saying? The problem we have now is when we decide we want to date, now we got to worry about this shit. We've always had to worry about it, but even more now, because there's certain diseases that are being planted by design. I want y'all to understand that too. Now, we ain't going to get too deep in that. There's certain things for the body that's purposely being planted so that it takes certain demographics of ethnicities out. Y'all ain't even seeing the play. The young men and young women out here sleeping around, y'all ain't even seeing the real play that's going down. Y'all just out here just having fun, man. Hitting switches. y'all, y'all hitting switches. That's what y'all doing, man. It's a bigger play to this. It's a huge, the dynamic is bigger than what you realize. So now I want to have a relationship. I'm a single man, right? And do believe the men with all the money that's single, I hate to say it, I'm going to be real with y'all. They smashing everything they can see because they got it. They got the money. They can have access to all the women they want. They out there smashing. A lot of men like having sex with no protection. They don't even get to know the woman. They just sticking they shit in there. They ain't even thinking about if it's getting fried. The woman ain't thinking about it. She's getting fried. Nobody's getting to know each other. Listen, if you're going to date people, you probably want to start telling them this. Can we go and get an AIDS test? That's kind of like the new wave. That should be the whole new wave of dating. Before I date you, can we go to the clinic and take a test and let's share the results? There's nothing wrong with that. If you don't know that motherfucker, if they don't know you, if you don't know their background, it's probably a good idea, even before you kiss them. See, I don't even kiss people. Yeah, I don't even, listen, none of us are perfect. As young folks, we done some real creative ass shit. But as conscious adults, it comes a time where you got to wake up and go, okay, when I'm seeing the number 13 through 24, that's scary. Because I wasn't having sex at age 13. I wasn't having sex at 13. So when I see the number 13, that's scary. The young kids sleeping around. The young people sleeping around. Right? I don't watch words on YouTube. They're funny and shit. You got the young people sleeping around, right? You got the young dudes sleeping there. Nobody's using protection. Scorpio, thank you for the donation. Scorpio said, Mr. Paxton, don't you ever connect me to them Klingons. hey, Scorpio, I'm so sorry. Listen, I don't even know how that shit even came out. I think maybe the universe wanted me to bless her. So we're going to say, God bless you, Cleo. Bless you. The name came out, so we're going to say a prayer for you. God bless you. Honestly, maybe, sometimes I learn when a name comes out, maybe God wanted me to send her a blessing, bless you, or maybe she talked about me. But God bless you anyway. Scorpio, my apologies. Scorpio say no. Hey, you guys, listen. So as the world turns, men and women, and we're trying to have relationships and date, how do we now have a relationship and date somebody when we know there's a possibility that this person could have slept with a whole bunch of people and we don't know their history? We don't know who they've kissed. We don't know where they put their mouth at. Another reason I don't even really like shaking people's hands. You could have a cut on your hand. They can have a cut. You shake your hand. That's you've transferred blood. And people wonder why I'm always bowing at them. This is real. This is what I do. Some people take it personal. They want to hug me and I don't hug them. I've been weird like this all my life. I barely shared a drink with my mom. I know that sounds crazy, but I'm telling you the truth. I've always been, and that had nothing to do with it. My mom is my mom, but I'm just showing you how anal I've been with sharing people's germs. I've been like that. But now we're talking about dating. So how do you date in the age of HIV? I gave you the number 10 city, and all of us have been to these cities. Let's go back to this. I said number 10 was what? Columbus, South Carolina, right? We're going to go down to number 1. Number 9, Baton Rouge. All these cities, what they have in common is there's a lot of our people there, a lot of African Americans there, a lot of Hispanics there, right? That's number 9, Baton Rouge. Number 8 is Orlando, Florida. Be parties there. There'll be parties in Orlando and Atlanta. Number 7, Memphis, Tennessee. The home of Elvis Presley. Number 6, Washington, D.C., our capital, ladies and gentlemen. We're all Chocolate City, where all the partying goes down. Number 5, Baltimore. East Coast rocking the house. HIV numbers are high. Number 4, Jackson, Mississippi. Mississippi. Crooked letter, humpback. If you didn't know that, people from Mississippi understand that. Number 3, New Orleans. New Orleans. We're going to say Nolans, y'all. Number 3, Nolans. High rate of HIV. Number 2, Miami. Now, this one's with me because it's still within the state that Orlando's in. So that's still within Florida. So that's pretty interesting. We got Orlando, and I think Orlando was, what was Orlando, you guys? Orlando was number 8. So we got Orlando at number 8, right? And we have Miami at number 2. That's crazy because that's still in Florida. And number 1, what would be your guess in the comments? What do you guys think is the number 1 city for the highest level of HIV cases? What city do you guys think? Let me see you post it, and then I'll tell you what it is. What city do you think it is that has the highest rate? Ooh, somebody. Ooh, okay, we coming in close. Okay, hold on. Hey, Jay. Well, I got to give it to Jay. Jay said ALT. Yeah, Atlanta is number 1. Number 1. So how do we go date? Okay, so let's say you're single, I'm single. We went through a divorce. Now we want to get into the dating game. Now we want to have a relationship. Now keep putting the cities, y'all. Keep letting it go. Let it fly. Now we want to have a relationship, right? What's the process should we go through? How do we review potential people that we want to date? How do we do that now? You're going to have to tell them that they're going to have to bring you a test result. And here's the crazy part about it. Shall we go deeper? You're going to have to say, I'm going to need you to do that every 7 months. Because that's what they suggest. The health department, the CDC suggests if you're going to have somebody, if you're going to get in a relationship, the test should be done. If you've been a promiscuous person out sleeping with everybody, they suggest that you do these tests every 7 months. So if you're going to date somebody, it's kind of like the new dating model should be, hey, I like you. I don't really know you, but get to know them too. Even if you don't want to sleep with them for 9 months, whatever you got to do, get to know everything about them. The relationships they've had before, the kind of people they had relationships with. Get to know. It's okay to ask questions. What kind of people did you date? Kind of, what kind of woman was she? What kind of man was he? Get to know them and make them take the test. Go with them. Y'all can go together, take the test. Here you go. Here's mine. You see, I'm good. Oh, yours say negative. What? Hey, what? Because here's the truth. In any city, if a man or woman says, go take a test, the health department keeps records. So if that person has a record of having STDs, right when they go in there with you and they pull tests and you say, oh, we just in here to have, get our test done because we date and I want to show that person that I'm clean. Well, that person in the health department, when they do the printout, it's going to have all the shit on their sheet of, if they clean, if they have any past STDs, so they can't hide it from you. It's going to say they don't have HIV or they do. I've looked it up. So they can't hide it from you. It's such an easy thing to do. But why is everybody scared to ask somebody, hey, do you mind taking a test? Yeah, you be out in these streets and you got a lot of men or you got a lot of women. I'm sorry. I just want to make sure I'm good. I care about myself enough not to put myself out there hanging on a string only to be crying a year later saying I got HIV because I didn't take enough time to make somebody take a test and make them take the test. Don't let them tell you they're going to do it. Make them take the test and prove to you. Because if they really want to date you, that's the new dating model. And that should be the new dating model. You don't want to wait until you in your 40s and 50s and get HIV. I mean, goddamn. You don't want to be a young person with HIV. There's no age that's perfect for this shit. I've watched people with it die. I watched the old man that I used to talk to when I was younger dying from it. Shit don't look good. And if you don't believe me, call any care center around the U.S. and ask them, can you just do a walkthrough and take gifts and go in and talk to the AIDS patients? Some of them will let you do it. They don't get visitors. They don't get family members to come to visit them. Go visit them and have a conversation. I suggest this for all those that think that I'm just on here running my motherfucking mouth. I ain't going to do a whole bunch of yelling and stuff. I barely cuss, but lately on YouTube, seems like I've been doing that. Whatever the case may be, whatever I have to do to get the message across, people to listen to me, go spend time in a care center where there's a lot of old people or people dying from that. And ask, do you mind if I visit and just, bring in cards to people and sit down? If somebody might on here might know somebody with AIDS. Talk to them. Conversate with them. I bet you everything I'm saying, they're going to say, yeah, that dude on YouTube, listen to him. They're going to say that. I wish I had that guy on YouTube. I saw his video or other videos before I made my mistake. Sit down and talk to a person that has AIDS if you know one. And I promise you, you'll come back and go in my comments and thank me for this video. There should be more Black people and Hispanic people in their community doing this. White folks, you ain't far behind. You're 24%. You just ain't, your flag ain't raised high, but you still part of the country contributing factor. And I'm sure Indians and other folks too. It ain't just Black and white and Hispanic. They're just a smaller percentage. The bigger percentage is what I'm talking about, because these are the ones that are just out there carelessly slang-a-langing their things and just not giving a fuck. So here you are, beautiful woman, beautiful face, hair, work hard, body's beautiful, got a degree. I saw this story of this young lady who moved to Atlanta. I don't know if any of you saw that. And I cried watching this young lady on YouTube, and she was telling her story, how she met this guy, and she thought he was just the nicest guy in the world. And they started having a relationship. She came to Atlanta to expand her career. And I cried for this young lady. But I also respected the fact that she was able to get on here and tell her truth. She said she went to Atlanta and she met this guy and she thought he was the nicest guy in the world. And not even within a year, she ended up with AIDS. And when she questioned him about it, he was kind of like, well, she said he was just really kind of like, what you want me to say? I mean, yeah, I got it. I don't know. That shit just really messed me up, man. I cried for her because I felt like I felt like her opportunities were taken from her. But I know that's not going to stop an opportunity. There's people living with AIDS. Magic Johnson has showed us that living with AIDS is possible and you don't have to die. He showed everybody. But I think that also made people with AIDS think like, shit, I just get the drugs. I'm cool. Look at Magic. Shit, we can be out here still doing our thing. Shit, man, Magic good. I really wish that Magic would be more of an advocate for that community, because I think if he would talk to people and be like, hey, listen, I know y'all looking at me, but don't be out here just thinking that just because you see me cool, that y'all should still be out here doing this, because they have taken Magic situation and kind of used it as like, well, shit, Magic, he cool. We gonna be cool. It don't even matter I got AIDS. Shit, I'm good. They got drugs now, make it disappear. That's really the attitude of people. Some, not all. You know the ones that's not, but the ones that ain't talking about what they have, their attitude is, look at Magic. And then you see the young ladies. 99% of the people I see online talking about their AIDS situation, HIV, having HIV, is women. And my hat's off to these beautiful young ladies that get on here and that tell their story, but not enough people are listening. Because guess what? We still got men and women out here slanging they shit. And we like having adults, right? We like having fun, right? We come on now, we're adults. We love having fun. There's nothing wrong with sex, but it is something wrong when you're out there sleeping with everybody and you ain't using protection. Oh, there's absolutely something wrong with that. And then you're bringing it back to the person you're really with. So when you hurt yourself, you're going to hurt everybody in your circle because that's what you're doing. It's an epidemic going on. Houston, I made a joke the other day. I said, Houston, we have a problem because I saw what was happening in Houston with HIV and the STDs. It's crazy in Houston, Texas right now. It's ridiculous. But when are we going to wake up as a community and say, enough is enough, men, enough is enough, women? Like, you can't just approach me and come at me thinking that I'm just going to have sex with you because I'm a woman. You can't just approach me and come at me and think that just because I'm a man and I carry the magic stick, I'm just going to lay down with you. And men, stop believing that you just got this magic that a woman just wants to sleep with you and it's went to your head. So now you just want to go out and serve up every woman because you think you just got it like that, but you're not thinking of the consequences. See, everybody loves life when they have it, but when you're faced with death, then you fear it. Think about what I just said. Everybody loves life when you have it, but when you are faced with death, then you fear it. AIDS represents death. HIV represents death because some people die fast with it and some live longer. Everybody's different. But one thing for sure, your chances of passing away are higher than not and faster. You've actually changed your course of life because if you're supposed to pass away from old age, now you might pass away from AIDS or HIV, which shortens your life. If I'm not going to be a voice, I'm not just going to get on here and talk about music. I'm sorry. And for those of you that are my music followers that follow my channel for music, if you don't like what I'm talking about, you can leave my channel. I don't mind. Music is my life. I will continue to put records out. That's what I do. If you come in here and you want to see me making music and you get mad because Stone ain't making music, I don't see him making, my channel's not just going to be about that anymore. I put music out. That's what you see those on the wall. See those plaques? That's from my music. I release records. It's not going to stop, but I am not going to be on YouTube and all I talk about is music because life is not just music. Music is the soundtrack that's behind us in life. But life is conversation. Life is wisdom and knowledge and educating people and sharing things that people don't know. And, you know, you got to be willing to be that person to pick up the book and read it for everybody because some are not going to read the freaking book. I choose to be that one. I choose to stand in that place that I should stand in and be a messenger. I use my music already for messages. Now I will continue to do that and use my voice and my platform to share things that should be talked about. Those of you that are dating people right now, those of you that are on cloud number 9 in your relationships and you just met somebody, before you lay down with them, make sure you make them take a test and also you show them your test that you're good. Those of you that are preparing to lay down and sleep with a man and woman tonight, better think twice before you do it. If you have not found out if they're legitimate, if you have not found out if that person has been tested and they can show you that they don't have a derogatory STD or anything or AIDS, do not lay down with them. Now, I'm sorry, you might think that I am pouring salt in your game for tonight or this evening. You might think that Stone is fucking up your situation right now. You're fucking up my situation right now, Stone. No, I'm not. I'm just making you aware of the things that I've been aware of. Think twice before you lay down with somebody tonight. think twice before you go on that date tonight, and you're preparing right now, and you're getting the contraceptives together to do, the protection and all that, that's cool. But you might want to think, even if you got that, to make sure you don't even lay down with the person tonight. If you're new to that relationship and you don't know them, take a pause. You don't have to right now. Just think about it. Just, it's okay to ask them for a test. This is your life we're talking about. If you love this air, if you love that sunshine, if you love seeing the stars and the moon at night, if you love seeing your children and your family, give yourself enough respect to go, you know what? Yeah, let me just back up. You can still go out on a date with them. You still go do your date, go out to eat, and that's where it should end. I'm not being your father or your counselor. I'm being your consciousness right now, men and women. All I'm saying is there's nothing wrong with having a person give you a test to show that they're qualified enough to deserve the physical part of you, men and women. I'm saying it to both of y'all because none of us are better than each other. We both wear the same coin when it comes to that equation. You can have a woman that has AIDS and a man don't know about it, and you can have a man that has AIDS and a woman doesn't know about it. Protect yourself. If you really love you, especially my Hispanics and my African Americans, y'all better try to strap y'all shit up. And you better try. And as I'm looking at my numbers and I see people popping off and popping on, usually people that pop off are motherfuckers that I'm saying some shit that didn't hit. It's hit somewhere with them. Now, I'm getting fuck that shit, man. I'm gonna get fuck his live. That's because I've said something you didn't like because you're probably out in the streets doing this shit. But don't be mad at me. I'm trying to save you. I'm trying to give you the consciousness. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm trying to give you the consciousness that you need that nobody is talking about because most people yell. So when we yell, nobody listens. Listen how I'm speaking. Damage Kisses, thank you for the membership. I hope you stay with me now because you've been up here, been a subscriber. I hope you stay on in there with me now. Come on now. Listen, we're all beautiful people. All right? We all have dreams and desires and things that we want to do. You can't do those things when you are unlifed, when you're no longer here. Those dreams you have of building a company and your ideas, everybody has a dream of something you've always wanted to do. Just remember, once HIV sets in, your mind ain't going to be thinking about shit. If you end up getting any kind of STDs or anything like that or HIV, you're not even going to think about the shit you want to do. You're going to be so stressed out with that shit. You're not going to even want to talk to nobody. This is why my hat's off to the young ladies that build up the courage to get online and talk. There's a young lady who, I don't know if you saw that scandal when she was talking about she slept with all these different celebrities. She ended up with HIV. Real beautiful black girl. She's mixed, light complexion. She moved here to Vegas. I am going to try to locate her so I can get her to come on my channel and speak. She has a YouTube channel. I'm going to reach out to her and get her to come on so I can have her share her story. And we can revisit this conversation again. All I'm saying, my grown folks and any young people coming in here, love yourself enough to say, I just need you to take a test. I'm not telling you to tell a person, I ain't ready. But surely make them take a test and prove to you that they're healthy so that you don't have to suffer anything that you do not know about down the road, because it might not come now. It could be a year from now, and all of a sudden you look up and you can't get out the bed one morning, and you don't even know why. Now you go do a test and find out you got HIV. Give yourself a chance. Love yourself. That's all I'm saying. Love yourself enough not to allow a man or woman to access your body without finding out if they are HIV or STD free. Am I saying anything bad? If so, put it in the comment section. If I'm wrong about everything I just said, say, Stone, you're wrong. Stop talking about this, Stone. And I won't talk about it no more. If I'm wrong, then today will be the last day I'll talk about this. If I've said anything wrong, if I've offended anyone on here, I'm only trying to be a voice because most people will yell. I'm just trying to talk so we can have an adult conversation If I can say something that can make somebody think, then I've done my job. If somebody watched this today and I've made them think, I have done my job. Even if it's one person that listens to me, I feel good about it because I've done my job. Let me read some of these comments, see if there's anybody that said anything. Victory said, thanks at Stone Paxton. It's a crime in some states to not tell people and you're sleeping around. Victory, here's the crazy part. It's interesting. Victory said in some states it's a crime not to tell someone that you're sleeping around. Okay, so check this out. Do you know that there's 30 states that passed a law and they don't have to disclose how many people in their state has HIV? This is for real. 30 states have passed the law. So that shit scares me. So even if a person has HIV, they don't even have to tell you. Now imagine that. That's what's happening, why the numbers are increasing. Because now they don't have to tell people. There's 30 states that have passed the law where they don't have to. I don't even know why the states are doing this. The shit's weird. Why would you not want people to know? Why? But yet, if they get it, then they can go prosecute the person. That's just weird. But you don't want to tell people that the person has it, but if the person gets it, they can prosecute them and they can go to prison. Like, that shit is just crazy. Erica said, Stoney, I like the idea when I see you on YouTube. It's always something different you talk about in all facts. Erica, thank you so much. I appreciate that, Erica. I don't want to just be known for music. Music is me. That's not going nowhere. But I just want to be known as a person who can share something that somebody might not have known because they didn't want to pick up a book or they didn't want to research or read. I want to use my platform in the right way. Victory said, that's crazy. LT said, thank you for using your platform to address the serious illness. LT, yeah, I mean, it's something that nobody's really talking about much, you know, and it bothers me because I see a few people here and there talking about it. But when the numbers are this high, this should be a trending topic on YouTube. Think about what I'm saying. This HIV and AIDS should be one of the most trending topics on YouTube because it affects us that much. It not only affects normal people that's watching YouTube, it affects celebrities. What if a celebrity sleep with a girl who done slept with some dude that was out in the street? Now, guess what? And then the celebrity sleeps with another celebrity. Then that celebrity sleeps with a normal person. Then that normal person goes back and sleep with their wife. And the cycle continues. This should be one of the most trending topics on YouTube. It should be an HIV sector. Well, literally, that's all people are talking about because it's that serious. We wait until shit happens to talk about it in our communities. But if it don't touch us, then we're like, well, shit, I ain't got it, so I'm cool. We don't want to talk about it if it hasn't touched us or somebody in our family. Soon as it hits somebody in our family, we online crying. Yeah, my cousin got, I found out my cousin. Then we want to cry about the shit. But when we can talk about it before it touches anybody we know, we should be sharing the information. We should be sharing the information. PS said, this platform is better than most. Thank you, Stone. PS, thank you. And that means so much to hear that because I want my channel to continuously be quality. I've been on YouTube a long time. I see the effects of YouTube and how powerful it can be and that it should be used in the right way. So PS, thank you for that. And I hope that you are subscribed to the channel and I hope that you become a member. Scorpio gave out memberships today, PS. So I hope you grab one of those memberships. Auntie Mickey said, sharing information is the most caring one can do for their fellow men. Auntie Mickey, absolutely. And you know, Auntie Mickey, I'm fixing my little StreamYard so I can, you know, because today would have been my perfect day to have my panel. So hopefully my StreamYard gets straightened out. And then tomorrow I'm going to do another, probably won't do this topic tomorrow, but I'm going to bring it up again. I'd like to have you and some other people that are in the comment section on the panel because this topic, just like other trending things like the P. Diddy case. How many people do you think could possibly have AIDS that were involved in sleeping around in that whole case? That's a prime example of the shit I'm saying. How many people that somebody might have slept with that probably don't even know that had AIDS during that whole process? Nobody's even gotten into that subject. How many people have HIV possibly, right? Allegedly, they say Puppy does. Allegedly, right? But let's go deeper than that. How many of the men and women that have slept with different people in those little freak offs that might have AIDS or STD, gonorrhea, syphilis? Syphilis is unattractable. Well, it's not. You'll know you have it, right? Because I read about all this shit. But you can have it and not know you have it. But if you go to the doctor and get tested, oh, you have syphilis. Oh, I didn't even know I had it. Gonorrhea, you're going to know you have. I've studied all these. As a teenager, I was scared of shit, so I learned about all of it. How many people in those freak offs might have some shit? Just undetected. Nobody's detected. You know, a person slept with a person and nobody detected it yet. It hasn't shown up. This is how serious this shit is. But guess what? Nobody cares until you get something. Then you mad at the world. Then you want to get on YouTube and talk about it. Do you think the young lady that got AIDS would have got on YouTube and talked about it if she had never got? No, she's still been out chasing celebrities. It's the truth. I'm just telling you what I believe, because she wasn't on there before talking about HIV. When she got it, she turned it into a platform. But if she didn't have HIV, do you think she'd be online like she is? No, she wouldn't. She'd be out at somebody's mansion and chilling with a my age, sitting by the pool, waiting for the next trick bag. That's the game in the entertainment industry. But they ain't thinking nothing about the shit that's being passed along at the same time. I don't trust none of these women out here. P.S. Robert, please find something else to do. This is a plot. Yeah, what did Robert say? P.S. You know, P.S. We always get some Dumbos that come in here and they want to do Dumbo stuff. You know, they ain't got nothing else to do. They video game broke, so they decided to surf through and be Dumbos on other people's channel. Go play your damn video game, little boy, because that's exactly what you acting like. So listen, you guys. So we're dealing with a serious situation that affects communities all over the world. Like I said, not just Black and Hispanic, Black, Hispanic, Indian, white. 24% of white folks affected with HIV, according to these numbers. So it's not just Hispanics and Blacks. It's just that Hispanics and Blacks is doing the most right now. And the numbers are very, very high, and they're increasing in certain areas and decreasing in other areas. And there's a lot of babies being born with HIV, excuse me. We got to put a stop to it. We all have the power. You, as an individual, you have the power as a woman to say, nah, you know what? I think you're a handsome man. And I know you got money and you got all this, but I'm going to need that test real quick. And you got money, so you can go get it tomorrow. And the man should be able to say, nah, you know, baby girl, you're beautiful, man. You're a successful woman, businesswoman. You got all this great stuff happening, but I'm going to need you to go get me that test. And then we could rock. We could talk then. And then every 7 months, I'm going to need you to do it again. And we're going to have to rock that for the next 3 years. And then I might be okay with you then. After 3 years of constantly taking the test every 6 or 7 months, I think you might be okay. I think you might be all right. We might be good. That's what we have to say. That's where we're at right now. We have to be this way. Make no mistakes. HIV is nobody's friend. It's not like, you know, I'm looking, you hanging out, you like, who your people right there? Yeah, that's my homeboy HIV. Hey, HIV, say what's up to them. We ain't doing that. Ain't nobody sitting around like, yeah, that's my homeboy HIV. What's up? Yeah, come introduce yourself. Ain't nobody doing that. You understand what I'm saying? The shit's serious. It's not your friend. It's not nobody's friend, and it doesn't care who it affects. So before you lay down tonight, you got that hot date at 8. Be careful. Ask questions. Auntie Mickey said young people gravitating towards the glitz and glamour are trying to get the come up and end up getting the letdown. Yeah, that's a fact, Auntie Mickey. That's a fact. Tessie Ward said that part's done. Yes. Dolores said, no mind when you are coming with the truth. She says, not mine when you're coming with. Yeah, absolutely. Come on now. J Bond, what's happening, family? J Bond said, the Dumbos be the ones with the pack. Hey, J Bond, I got the music. And by the way, I love it too, brother. I'll be hitting you back up. I love the music. Hey, Leah, the Dumbos. See, what it is somebody came across a video, probably carrying that shit, and saw what I'm saying and want to get up in the comment section and be goofy. But in reality, they could sit here and learn something that they can stop making a mistake and passing that shit on. Now, I could be wrong, but why come into a channel talking about something serious and you come in with some stupid shit? That means you're purposely doing that, which means that something I have said has hit a vein. This is not the channel for you, but in reality, this is the channel for you. You just don't know that yet. Go get that test. Listen, I love all of you guys, man. You guys have been super awesome to me. Tessie, your CD is coming in the mail. Anybody that's a member of this channel, you get the Stone Paxton CD in the key of love. I don't have it in front of me. Shipped to you for free. You just pay for shipping and handling. You don't pay for the CD. And those of you that are not members that want to get it, you can also get it, but you will have to pay for it. So it's better to be a member because you get it for free and you don't have to pay for the shipping in the city. You understand? So if you are a member, inbox me and say CD, and then I'll tell you how you can pay for the shipping and handling through Cash App, and I'll get that CD out to you. Believe me, it's incredible. Now, my new single supposed to drop tomorrow, but I'm still mixing it, so it looks like it's going to be the 18th or 19th. Forgive me, but it's coming. I appreciate you guys. We'll see you mañana. Those of you that understand what that is in Spanish, of course, you probably do. That means tomorrow. And thank you. Please, you guys, man, share this live. This is all I'm asking. You know, share the live. CC will put my email address on there for those that need the CD. But do me a favor. This is more important to me. I don't care. Share the live to a young person. Share it to a friend of yours that you might know that might have got caught up by a guy or a girl with an STD. Like, you ain't got to tell me who you shared it with, but please share it. Just share it, even if it's one person. I just want to wait. If we can help a person not make a mistake with the wrong person, and we have helped a million people, just please share the live, man. This shit is important. It affects all of us. There's going to come a time where we're going to have to date robots. We ain't even going to be able to date humans. Men are going to be buying robot women. Women going to be buying robot men. We're headed to that shit. At this rate, it's looking very close, like we're about to be doing some shit like that soon, because this shit's scary. Damaged Kisses says, take care. I don't know how to share the live. I can share the link, though. I'm technology inclined. Yeah, just copy the link and share it, Damaged Kisses. I appreciate you. J Bond said, thank you for listening. Bless Stone. Seriously, I'll be waiting. Yeah, I'll be hitting you up, family. No worries. LT, everybody, Scorpio, listen, y'all give some hand claps to Scorpio, because Scorpio comes in here and lights the channel up. All my members, love to you guys. All the ones today, Scorpio, Margot, that have donated, and who else donated today? I appreciate it. But, you know, Scorpio gave you guys those memberships. So y'all got to end this live with thank you, Scorpio. Please thank her for all the people that she gifted the memberships to. Please thank her for that, because she comes in here and she shows super love to the channel, and I have nothing but respect for that. It's just good to have good people rock with you. Thank all of you guys for rocking with me. I appreciate you. And we ain't leaving this channel until y'all thank Scorpio. So I need to see some thanks in that comment section to Scorpio for those memberships, everybody. Thank you, LT. Yes. Yes. Thanks, Scorpio, you guys. Please, 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 James Brown. Please, please. Yes. Thank you, Scorpio. Wherever you're listening from, we appreciate you. And let's go out with some happy people, man. Keep this frequency high. Or maybe I should play a little bit of the single that's coming out to you guys. Maybe I'll play a little bit, just a little. Maybe I'll do just a little bit, the ending part. Hold on, let's see. I'll play a little bit, and then we'll end with happy people. All right. This is Life's Frequencies. That's the next single. It's called Life's Frequency. I'm just going to play a little bit of it because I don't want to spoil it, the release, but.
Tonight you can ride up in my whip. I will show you what it is. We can talk about these crystals. It gives life. Later we can watch the moon rise. You got stars, girl, in your side. There's some frequencies right here. I feel love.
Yeah. It's going to drop on the 18th.
Crystals, they give life.
Life's Frequencies. That's the next single, y'all. It'll drop on the 18th. Should have dropped tomorrow, but it'll be on the 18th, okay? Frequencies. Life frequencies. The rate at which vibration happens and it constitutes a wave, life, a wave of love, a way of reality, a way of spirituality. Life's frequencies, love frequencies. You are a frequency. It's coming on the 18th, y'all. Let's end this with happy people. Let's go, happy people. Here it is.
Nothing like a fountain.
Happy people.
For better days.
Here we go. Here we go.
Ooh,
get up.
We are made by design. The world is now darker than light.
I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow, but we're gonna rock end out with this.
To make it all right.
12:30 tomorrow.
Future divine. They say happy people makes the world go round and round, round and round. Happy people turn around to smile. Happy people don't worry about a thing. Happy people take love and dominate. They say happy people makes the world go round and round, round and round. Happy people turn around to smile. Happy people don't worry about a thing.
Hey, if y'all ain't seen it, go watch that video to that.
Yeah.